Right, hello and welcome to the Borough Briggs Breed, the Elgin City podcast. We're back after a small break, and tonight I'm tagging this episode the G-Force special, right? Because we've got the double G, we've got the big G, and we've got just G Gordon. We've got Graeme Gilhooly and Gordon Methven. Graeme's the kitman at Elgin City, also known as Big G, and the announcer. And have you got any other roles, Graeme?
Just general help.
Right, okay, we'll come to them in a minute. And we've got Gordon Methven, who's the club's sports chaplain. We just discussed that and I nearly got it wrong there, Gordon. I was going to call you pastor, but it's sports chaplain. And you're the child protection officer, is that right?
I am. I do both roles.
Right. And you're also, I'm reliably informed that you're a ball boy as well at training every now and then.
I'm a ball boy at training, yeah. I do a lot of running about.
Brilliant.
He gets his steps in.
Right, so that's our guest tonight. So it's a G-Force special. We'll get going. First, I'm going to kick off. We'll come to you, Big G. Where does the Big G come from? Just because you're a big chap, is that what it is?
Yeah, when I came back to Elgin, I moved away from Elgin for a few years and came back in 2000. And when I went to start doing discos and that again, my nickname that I used to have when I was younger, one place I was going to start DJing in didn't like me being called that. So they said, "Oh, we'll call you Big G, will that do?" Yep. And it's stuck with me ever since.
Stuck, yeah.
But obviously, as you can see, I've lost a wee bit of weight now.
You're not so big anymore. You're kind of slimline G.
Somebody said last week, Big G. They went, "Oh no, wee G." I went, okay.
Wee G, that's got other meanings.
Yes, I did work there in the past.
Yeah. He's a Celtic supporter, so that's okay.
Oh, God, don't do that.
Oh, brilliant. Right, so I really want to scratch beneath the surface of what a kitman does, right? Everybody thinks it's just dealing with kit, but from my short time being involved, it's way more than that. I mean, it's like widow twankies in that kit room. So just for the listeners here that haven't been in the inner sanctum of the kit room, tell us what goes on there and what your daily jobs are on a match day.
Match day, well, actually, it starts on a Friday for a match weekend, because you get training on a Thursday night at Elgin and in a Friday morning. And it's like tidying up and getting the towels and all that washed and dried. And then it's getting the kit looked out for the Saturday. It depends if it's first team, it's home or away. It depends on the referee for the game, what colours teams wear. So they decide, we send them off at the beginning of the week and there's a colour clash or whatever. So you look at all the kit, get it all ready. And then on the Saturday, it's making sure that if it's an away game, that you've got the stuff for the players on the bus, the teas, the coffees, the biscuits, the milk, everything like that. They've got their water. But I travel down with one of the directors. In fact, I think you've had him on, Chris Foot.
Yeah.
And we go down with the kit early, so we're probably about an hour before the team bus arrives, I get it all set up, so that when the players come in, they've got everything that they need to get themselves organised and get themselves sorted for going out in the pitch for playing. So it involves strips, warm-up tops, warm-up T-shirts, all the shorts, the socks, all the Under Armour stuff, under socks, etc. All the way through, and making sure we get sweeties. And as I said, the biscuits is a big thing, which I know you're going to ask me about
the
later.
Biscuits later. The biscuits have got a whole section to themselves. Yeah. But, I mean, basically, you do the ladies' team as well. So
yes.
you're like a double kit man.
Yeah, just whatever I do on a Friday, Saturday, again, when I get back, if I'm at home, or when we come back from an away game, there's the washing that's involved, but also setting up the next day for the women, whether they're at home, it's fine just setting up a change room, or if we're away, it's again getting it all packed into the hampers and the bags and making sure everyone's there for them to go in the pitch and play.
Did you feel like a bit like mother hen here? I mean, in charge of all these players and you're doing their washing and sweeties. I mean, these boys want for nothing. I mean, they're some would say pampered, but I'm not going to say that, but some would say pampered.
I'm not sure if I would use the word pampered because they'll probably listen to this. But yeah, you try and make sure they've got everything that they need to be able to concentrate on going out and playing football. And yeah, there's all the little bits and pieces. I mean, just a wee example, the women's team 2 or 3 weeks ago were getting photographs taken for the season. They're saying, and one of the girls asked if I had hair straighteners.
Well, that's a new one.
And I said, well, I can pull many things out of a hat. I can work miracles, but that's one thing I can't do.
Right. So have you got a set now in the kit room?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I didn't bother going to kit room.
I suppose because you got to cater for the ladies' team now as well. So.
Yes. I mean, I haven't had any of the boys ask me for any hair straighteners, so I'm all right.
There's not many of them. I've got that long hair either who need straighteners. Maybe Dejon.
Maybe Dejon, yeah. But he likes his up in a bun.
He does. And he's when he has it down, it's kind of nice and wavy. So I don't know if he'd want straighteners, but...
Oh, I've never looked at him.
Have you never seen Dejon with his hair down?
Not really, not that I can recall.
He's a cool dude. He's pretty... Yeah, he's good looking boy, so... Right, so that's a wee dip into the world of the kit man. How long have you been doing that then, Graeme?
Just a year and a half.
Right.
Just a year and a half.
Okay. But before that, you'd obviously been the match day announcer for a number of years.
I think this is my 14th season.
Right.
It was the beginning of one of the seasons that the person who was doing it before me for, I think, work reasons, had to give it up. So a couple of directors at the time asked me if I would help them out in the first home game of the season, just for one game till they got somebody. So I did one, and I did two. And as I say, I think it's 13, 14 seasons later, I'm still doing it.
Right.
So I must be getting something right.
Exactly. Right, we'll come back to the kit room shortly. But Gordon, we'll turn to you now. You're, as we said, the sports chaplain at the club, former Bobby, but we'll maybe come to your police career shortly. But explain the role of a sports chaplain. What does it involve?
Okay. On the Sports Chaplaincy website, it says that the sports chaplain is expected to provide ongoing pastoral and spiritual care by permission to those of faith or no faith for the holistic well-being of all involved in the community of sport. Well, that's a bit long-winded.
I was going to say, aye.
What it really means is that you're there to be a listening ear. You're there to support people that are having maybe some problems in their lives. So they've got somebody at the club that they can go to and speak confidentially that'll help them and support them in what they're going through.
Yeah.
And you're there to represent Jesus as well. So you'd hope that you would be compassionate when people come to speak to you. That's really what it's about. But so in doing that, you'll be expected to have regular visits to training, regular visits to the stadium, go to events, to develop relationships really, and just be like a father figure.
Yeah.
If you're that age, or if you're younger, be a brother sister kind of relationship to people.
Because I mean, on a serious note, I mean, right throughout the club from all age levels, there's going to be lots and lots of players, volunteers, fans as well. So I mean, there's everybody that could be going through struggles in life, and they might need a friendly ear or just someone to talk to. Yeah.
I've certainly had some supporters come to speak to me. It doesn't have to be a players. It can be a member of staff. It can be a supporter. Just anybody that's really wanting to chat with somebody, looking for some support.
Yeah, and obviously the club's been kind of partnered with Mikey's Line for a number of years, so the whole mental health thing in football's pretty big as well. And people kind of think about footballers as being, happy-go-lucky, but they're not immune to the challenges of life. I mean, especially at this level when it's largely, it's part-time football or just not getting paid at all. So, folk can have challenges at any point, and they can come to you and quiet word or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can help signpost them, as they call it, signpost them. So there'll be other organisations that I'm aware of that could perhaps offer more support than I can, so that I can help them and point them in the right direction.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing this role at the club?
Well, this is my 6th season,
right,
as the chaplain, or as it says in the programme, the pastor, but the real title, sports chaplain.
Right, okay. And how have you found it? Quite rewarding at times? And
yeah, I enjoy it. I kind of fell into it. I wasn't expecting it. It was someone, Mark Fleming, who heads up sports chaplaincy across Scotland, was looking for somebody for Elgin because the previous chaplain was standing down. And so I got a phone call out of the blue, and I said, well, I'm actually on my holidays. He said, well, and because I was on my holiday, I actually met him down in Crieff Hydro, and it was like we'd known each other all our lives. So once I spoke to him, I thought, I really need to be doing this. So.
Great stuff. Because obviously you're an Elgin Street pastor as well, which is you go out on a Saturday night and at weekends just helping folk that might be in a wee bit of distress or emotional distress for the night out, and a few too many drinks or whatever. So you've done that as well for a number of years. Yeah,
I've done that for several years now. I'm the coordinator of the local, what they call an initiative. Every street pastoral organisation is a charity in their own right, and I'm also on the board of Ascension Trust Scotland that oversees all the different initiatives. So I've got that role as well. So you go out on the street and you're really just looking to be a listening ear, care for people, help them when they get into trouble. And people get themselves in vulnerable situations because they've drunk too much or they've taken too much drugs, whatever. And so we'll look after them, help them get home safely, because the police and ambulance crews haven't got enough staff to cope with everybody. So we'll seek to help out where we can.
Yeah, but there were no drunken footballers up the town.
I thought you'd ask me that. In all seriousness, I have never ever bumped into any of the Elgin City players in that condition, in a drunk condition, ever.
There you go.
So that's good news.
Model professionals.
Model professionals.
I remember going out with the street pastors many years ago and did a feature, and it was down that cinema lane, and it was quite scary actually at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd never seen some of the sights, but the one thing I remember is you handed out flip-flops to some of the girls that had lost their high heels. Now, do you still do that?
Yeah, we still hand out flip-flops, and believe it or not, it's not just girls that get them, because sometimes you have like Halloween, you have the guys dressed up like Wonder Woman or something similar, and they're not used to wearing high heels, and they'll come and say, oh, my feet are killing me, have you got any flip-flops? So it's not just the ladies that we give the flip-flops to, we give them to the guys as well sometimes.
And have you still got those flip-flops, Graeme?
No, I didn't need them.
Did you not?
No. It's funny you should say that. I was just saying to Gordon on the way down, my only one experience with street pastors was a few years ago. I'd been out in Elgin and gone to one of the kebab houses, and I was sitting on the windowsill outside with my kebab waiting for a taxi, and there's 3 people walking up the street. They said, oh, you need a hand with that? And I went, no, I managed to eat it myself. And it's only as they walked away I thought, oh, they're street pastors.
Pastors. So they were there giving you spiritual guidance, and you were just worried about keeping a hold of your kebab.
Absolutely. I thought they were going to take it away from me.
And we regularly get offered chips. We regularly get offered, you want a bit of my kebab? Oh yeah, if you wanted to, you could eat yourself silly. Oh, absolutely.
Brilliant.
I wasn't getting anything that night from me.
No, brilliant. So is that every Saturday night the pastors are out in the streets in Elgin?
We'll try to go out every Saturday night where we can, but if we've not got enough volunteers, then we'll have a free Saturday. We'll ask our volunteers to go out once a month. So I'm not expecting people to get more than that, although some do. So if we get more volunteers, all the volunteers come from local churches because it's a church initiative. If we get enough volunteers, we can do every Saturday night. But at the moment, we're missing 1 or 2 Saturdays. But we also patrol on Friday evenings. Okay. Speaking to the youngsters, because you get a lot of young people going out and experimenting, shall we say, with alcohol, and perhaps drink a bit more than they should. So we're there to help them out and get them home safely. Same thing as we do with the adults, just look after them, point them in the right direction. We're not police officers, we're not there to get them into trouble, we're just there to help.
No, you're there to help and support people. You're not making any judgments about people, are you?
Not at all. Not at all.
No. Okay, brilliant, good stuff. Right, we'll switch back to the football just for a wee minute. And both Elgin City fans, what are your kind of earlier memories of, watching Elgin City? Or, I mean, when did you first start watching or becoming interested in Elgin City?
I would say I've got recollection of 1972.
Oh, crikey.
I was 10. and it was a Scottish Cup game at Borough-Briggs. It was the 4th round, Elgin City versus Kilmarnock. I think the crowd was 10,000. It was over 10,000 or whatever. It was amazing.
Jeez, peeps, 10,000.
So as you can imagine, a wee 10-year-old, I was standing there just in awe. And I actually remember that there was no fence as such behind the goals, but they had ropes right up to the back of the nets because the crowd was that big. Unfortunately, we lost 4-1.
Right.
But that was my first experience of Elgin.
My goodness. Well, I moved up to Elgin with the police in 1990.
Right.
And
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Dundee originally, but
Dundee,
I'd been working in Aberdeen. I joined the police in Aberdeen. I actually moved up to Peterhead with my job just before joining the police. So, but I was there in 1985, and in 1990 I got transferred up to Elgin. And so my first experience was the sergeant sent me, "Come on, Gordon, we're needing to go down and check the supporters' buses before they go away." I think it was Fraserburgh or Peterhead we were playing. And I thought, what would we need to check buses for? And I thought, a wee Highland League team. And we went down and I counted 9 buses. Honestly, 9 buses. But Elgin had just won the treble. It was when Stevie Patterson was the manager.
Right.
They'd won the league. I think it was the North of Scotland Cup and the qualifying cup as well. So they were well supported.
Those were the glory days for Elgin in the Highland League, weren't
Absolutely. So I recall seeing Mike Teasdale. I remember Mike Teasdale playing, and my hometown team was Dundee, and I remember him getting, I think Dundee paid quite a large fee for him, and he got transferred down to Dundee. About 25,000, I think it was, and got transferred down. Something like that. It was quite a large fee they paid. Can't remember if that's true, but that's my recollection anyway.
So did you then? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I can't remember the amount, but it's not far from that, I think.
Okay.
Because in those days, that was a lot of money for a player. Yeah. But it was worth it. Big Mike Teasdale's a great player.
Good player. Yeah.
So you became a fan, obviously having moved up here, and obviously you've never left. You've stayed here.
Yeah, we used to get sent down. I didn't actually get a chance to see Elgin much because I was working in the police and we worked shifts. But occasionally, for the bigger games, we were sent down to walk around the track.
Okay.
Well, 95% of the time you spent watching the football, and 5% of the time looking at the crowd. And to be fair, the crowd were usually very well behaved. And then you got to go into the boardroom at half time and got a pie and a cup of tea, which was great. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that was my first experience watching Elgin. Was actually
you still get
walking around the track.
A pie and a cup of tea in the boardroom at half time now?
Yeah, as a sports channel, I still get that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Good stuff. Oh, excellent. Great. I mean, we touched there that you were a police officer and a street pastor. You're the child protection officer at Elgin City as well. Yeah. So, what does that role involve? And what can you tell folk about that? I mean, obviously there are a lot of young players as well at Elgin City.
Well, it's really safeguarding the young people, make sure that they're safe, that they're looked after, that they're cared for, and we want to make sure that they feel involved in the club, they feel safe, and they know they're looking after, and then they can enjoy their football. That's really what it's all about.
Right. Okay.
And if there are any issues and people report it to me, then we've got a role there to report it further up, to the SFA if needed, or the police. In really serious cases, you'd report it to the police. But thankfully, there's not been much happening since I started doing this.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
And I suppose, for other young players, their parents are entrusting them to the club, so you've got to have those kind of measures in place and make sure everything's done properly. And I mean, Elgin's got a really thriving youth development set up now. Players at academy and all ages, and so it's a fair setup now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many teams there are now, but it's from like pre-academy. Which is the smaller ones are, I think, 8 and under. But I get quite confused about the under 15s or under 16s because it's done by age,
right?
So they might say, the 2007s or whatever. So, but there's quite a lot of teams.
Yeah. You didn't do the kits for them; they look after their own kits.
Yes, they do their own. Yeah.
What a life! You'd never be away for that place. We touched on earlier, Graeme, Big G. You used to be a DJ, and you also worked in a local supermarket as well, was that?
Yes, I did in Elgin, yes. Am I allowed to say who it is? or who
Yeah,
it was?
absolutely.
There are other supermarkets
available. Yes.
No, I worked in Asda for about 16 years, I think. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And you said earlier, though, that you left Elgin and went away. What did you do? And what brought you back?
I went to do youth and community work training in Aberdeen, 84 or 85, I think. So I spent 3 years there, and I went to Glasgow and worked in London for a while, back up to Glasgow, and then up to Dingwall, and then back to Elgin in 2000.
All right, so you've got a bit.
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan character.
As somebody once said to me, you're a bit of a mongrel, aren't you, Gene? Oh, cheers.
That's a bit harsh.
It was harsh, I thought. Anyway, yeah.
I would say colourful as opposed to being mongrel, but good stuff. So, I mean, is being kitman for Elgin City, I mean, does that feel a bit like a kind of dream job? I mean...
it is now, yeah, well, my age, and given kind of the circumstances before I came into doing it. I live just round the corner, like 100 yards from the ground. It gives me a bit of purpose. Enjoy what I'm doing. Oh, there are moments, there are times, As we were talking earlier about, it's like a family. And I don't have kids, which I'm kind of quite glad, because I was looking after the men's team and the women's team. I was like, I've got all these kids.
Do they feel like children at times? Because, I mean, you're old enough to be their father, aren't you?
I am old enough to be their dad. In fact, some of them I could actually be their granddad. That was pointed out to me a few weeks ago. But no, it's not like kids. But it's just like, Gordon's on about being the pastor, etc., and sports chaplain. But you're kind of there as well if there's any hassles or problems. If they're needing something, if I can help with it and get it done, or get them it might be a bit of equipment that they need, or whether it's plasters or tapes or whatever.
Yeah,
do that. So yeah,
good stuff, magic. What was your DJ name again then?
Well, G, Big G.
Is that what you?
Yeah, but I do believe there is a guy who sings and plays guitar, and I think he's from Lossy. It's called Big G because he's out and about. I've got folk have been confused and said, "Oh, you're supposed to be playing so-and-so tonight," and I'm going, "No, not me." Oh, you'll
have to get him to change his name. Then.
No.
Have you not got copyright on the Big G?
No, because I'm not doing it anymore. I'll do the odd one or two, but no. But he's good. I do believe he's very good.
Great stuff. Good stuff. Right, we'll come to the burning question. Right, this is the one. But what I'll lift the lid, as I say, using a pun. Biscuits, right? You're renowned for the quality of your biscuits in the kit room. I'd never seen this. Obviously, being in the press, didn't always get into the kit room. That was like inner sanctum. And occasionally, I started getting in for a cup of coffee. But since I've come on board and got involved in the media at Elgin City, I realised just how many biscuits you have in there. What is this in a role that evolved, or has there always been biscuits, or have you expanded the biscuit empire?
I think there has been before, because it's not just for the players and all that, and the management staff. We've got all the guys that come in during the week, volunteers that do the pitch, etc., etc. So they've got their teas and biscuits. But I kind of decided when I came in that I would maybe try a bit of variety. So after a while, I think the players let me know that some of the biscuits weren't good enough. So yeah, there's a local shortbread company, and some of their stuff's very, very, very popular. You get there's one player who introduced me to Jaffa Joe Nuts.
Jaffa Joe Nuts?
Jaffa Joe Nuts.
What on earth is that? They're
like donuts, but they're Jaffa cakes.
Right, okay.
Shaped like a donut, and it's the sponge is the same, the filling's the same, but they're quite big. And well, I have with that player, if we win, he gets one. But they're very difficult to get now. They came out, they're quite popular. I used to get them in Tesco's and all that, but I found them the other week when I was in Poundland, of all places. Right. There are other supermarkets available. Wow. I should get some advertising for this.
You should product placement.
But well, I had to test them myself, you see, as well, before I got them to make sure they were.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, your biscuit tin is like, it's like a magnet. I mean, it's like you're the Pied Piper. In terms of your kit room, have you been in there? Have you been in there, Gordon, and had some biscuits yourself?
I have, yes. My favourite is the shortbread, as he's already said. But G's an expert on biscuits. He told me at Christmas time he recommended certain biscuits from Marks and Spencer's, which were custard creams covered in chocolate. I mean, I love chocolate creams. I love chocolate. And he recommended, and I went to Marks and Spencer's, and I have to make a complaint. When I went there, they were all sold out. I didn't actually get any. So,
well, that just tells you they must be very, very popular.
So my suspicion is that G bought them all.
Custard creams covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm down with that, but were they nice? I've never tasted
Well, I wasn't
them.
sure at first either, but I had one myself and just thought, oh yeah. But I haven't bought them for a wee while because I don't always get into Marquis, but you buy them, you get a pack of 4. I mean, they're not cheap, but custard cream, but they're quite thick with chocolate over them as well. Yeah. Now, I bet you the players will be listening to this and go, where are we going to get them?
Well, I haven't tasted them yet, but I'm looking forward to the day that I sample them.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how many varieties I've got, and there are different players that have got different tastes, so you try and cover them. But because it was mentioned not that long ago, with a promotion pushing team, blah blah blah. Biscuits don't match it. And I heard this, I went, excuse me.
So an army can't march on an empty stomach. And,
no, I know.
A football team can't
exactly.
march without biscuits. So.
Yeah. I mean, it ranges from, the management team favourites is Viscounts.
Or did Alan and Stefan like a Viscount?
Yeah, I just found that out the other week, and I didn't have any last night at the game, and it was brought up. So
okay, right. I like the gold biscuit bars.
Yes, that's another favourite.
I like gold.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
Ginger nuts.
I've never been a fan of ginger nuts.
Chocolate hobnobs. Chocolate digestives.
They make me hungry.
I know, I'm thinking about it myself.
You've not had your tea yet. Yeah.
I did earlier, but I feel like a pack of biscuits. I
should have taken you down some.
You could have even.
Never thought.
The selection box of biscuits.
It's gone up.
It's like I had Bert here on the podcast. He never brought any pies.
Did he not bring a pie?
He never brought any pies. So
you'll have to get us back on next year or something, and I'll take down some biscuits.
Next
for
year,
you.
I'll get you on next month. So. If there's biscuits in the offer,
I'll get you. It depends if I've left anything by the players.
Yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, we're probably spending too much time on biscuits here, but the kit room, it's a hive of activity, and there's a lot of banter. There's great fun goes on in there, and it's like a community centre in many ways, isn't it?
It certainly is. Training nights during the day, with the volunteers and all that come in. But you met Cecil and Taders and all the others. It's like a kitchen too. The players after training, a lot of them have got their pastas and all that stuff to use in the microwaves. It is quite a hub of activity. It's sometimes too many folk, and I can't get in myself and being a big chap, But no, it's great. That is great because it's good that you come in and normally it's how trainings went, or what folk have been up to the weekend, or whatever. Just general chit chat.
It's good crack. It's good crack. Yeah. And you mentioned their players with their pasta and that. I mean, after training, a lot of them fueling up, and that's their dinner. Owen Cairns has got one of the best diets I've seen. He comes in with homemade, noodles and all sorts of things.
Pesto pasta, I think it's on chicken and pesto pasta. Yeah, because I always used to have broccoli with it as well.
Okay.
I'd leave there after training on a Tuesday, Thursday night, and they've all used the microwaves, etc. And it smells good. So I'm hungry, so I'll go home and have some tea at 10 o'clock, 10 at night, and I'm like, oh no.
No, brilliant. What's the quality of the cuisine in the boardroom, Gordon? I mean,
it's very good. Yeah, the pies are excellent. I at the moment I can't actually eat pastry. I've been told to cut down on the pastry, but I still eat the filling. No, they're really, really nice pies in the boardroom, and I must say the biscuits and the sweeties and the cheese and the crackers are very nice as well.
Excellent. Yeah. This is turning an episode of MasterChef or something.
I was going to say, we should maybe ask if there's anybody out there wants to sponsor us for biscuits or something like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Right, we're going to get serious again. Yeah. We'll talk about the football. What I talk about the last couple of games, 2 home games, Bonnyrigg, a win on Saturday, and then last night a draw with Spartans. How did you both see those last 2 games? Because it's been about over a month since there was a home game. So, I mean, it was great excitement having back-to-back home games.
Yeah, I actually said to somebody on Saturday when they were coming back, I felt like saying Happy New Year and welcome back to Borough Briggs, because it had been that long. I think it was 6 weeks without a
Something
game.
like that. Aye.
6 weeks, so it was quite good. Lovely day, good game, hard game, very hard game. I was like, I better be careful what I say about Bonnyrigg, but they were set up to stop us basically, and took a while. We got there, and I think that's probably the best last 6 or 7. Well, in fact, 10. It was 90 plus 6. We got the winner.
90 plus 5, 90 plus 6
6
that Russell
so,
got it.
I mean, Ollie scored in the 89th, I think. So yeah, what a feeling! I absolutely feel it was
Place
great.
was buzzing.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, Bonnyrigg, I agree. Bonnyrigg were set up to stop us playing, which they did very well.
But maybe that's a compliment to Elgin. In fact, you know, Elgin now are seen as a pretty damn good team, and especially in their home patch. So if teams are going to come to try and frustrate Elgin, then that's a backhanded compliment.
Yes, I would say. Yeah, definitely.
What I thought was really good at the game against Spartans the other night was that Spartans, I regard, I don't know what the management, I think having listened to Alan, he regards them as one of the best teams in the league as well, but I certainly do. They're one of the best footballing teams, if not the best footballing team. And we matched them. We were playing for football that certainly matched them, which was very pleasing to see. And I thought the players deserved tremendous credit for doing that. And great credit also for coming back against Bonnyrigg, because some teams would have folded when that Bonnyrigg goal went in, and they didn't. And they went on and they won the game, which I thought was brilliant. Brilliant to see.
That's one of the big differences from last season. You know, if we'd gone 1-0 down, there was a good chance it might have ended up 2 or 3. But, you know, there's been a big turnaround since then with players, etc., and also Alan and Stefan coming in, and Gordon, the goalkeeping coach. So, big difference, and it was good to see. It was a great feeling.
The team seems to have a bit of, a resilience about it this season. You know, I mean, last night they scored within a minute after going behind, and same with Bonnyrigg came back, and they've just got a resilience about them, haven't they?
Yeah,
it was a get up and go. I know. Okay, we've lost a goal. We'll get back into this, and that's what's really pleasing. It's really and nice to watch as well. You know, because these guys are wanting to fight for it, and they're looking for that promotion. Hopefully,
but similar to the game against Kelty when they were down at 10 men. And they were 1 goal down and went on and drew the game and won on penalties.
Oh, in the Premier Cup.
In the Cup, which was tremendous as well.
Yeah. Do you sense, I mean, you guys have been around the club for a number of years. I mean, and this is no criticism of any previous managers or players, but do you sense a real buzz about things at the moment, the way things have developed and changed?
Yes, certainly. Well, with the way the league started this year, we got off to a bit of a sticky start against Hibs and all that, but full-time team. But now we're into the league business, and I could remember that
undefeated. Six games unbeaten.
6 games on. That's if you look at past seasons. So there is a big buzz about the town.
My first season as chaplain was the COVID season,
right?
When I think we had a poor start, and then we went on a run, and we went up to 3rd in the league. And then, of course, due to COVID, there was no playoffs.
That's right. Elgin were in the playoffs when it just got abandoned, didn't it?
Yeah. Having gone to training that season, and I'm going to training this season, I think there's a similar buzz about the guys at training as there was that season. So it feels good.
Yeah.
Because you guys are both in and around the players, and you watch them at training and that. I mean, the level of intensity in training is fantastic, isn't it?
Yes, I think one of the good things about it all is that predominantly north-based players, and everybody. Well, I thought mainly a Thursday, the whole lot are there. The boys from down south come up as well, but I think it's probably the first time in a long, long time that the bulk of the squad are training together 2 nights a week, whereas before, it'd be 7 or 8 down south training with other teams and all that. So I think that's helped gelling everybody together and getting them in as a team.
And they're obviously better because I'm not spending as much time running after loose balls.
I miss them on a Tuesday.
So you there every week at training, Gordon? Yeah.
Thursday. I try to go on a Thursday. I'm in Leicester for some reason I can't make it. Like if I'm on holiday or a mill, I won't go then. But I try to get the training once a week on a Thursday. Tuesday nights, I'm usually busy doing other things. But yeah.
And how many days a week are you at Borough as well? G.
Me, probably about 6.
6.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to be in as much as that, but I like.
You do go home at some point.
Yeah, I do go home.
Yeah. You sleep in your home, do you?
You
haven't got
No, I haven't. There was a physio bed in physio group. I did threaten one night to do that. I can't remember where we'd been, and it was to get things for the next day. But I am really grateful to Gordon for a Thursday night when he looks after the footballs, because you get a supply at the beginning of the season, and you've got to try and make sure that you keep to that supply, because past folk have said to me, right, they cost this much. No using them all. Just be careful.
And it's very rare now to see a ball going over the fence. You do get it on occasion. But in the previous season, I remember looking for a lost ball, and I actually found it in the middle of Lossy Green car park. That's how far away it had gone.
We'll not name the player that had that
I'm
shot.
not going to name the player, but he's no longer with us.
But they do get fined for that. They have their own fine system, and that's one of them. Yes,
putting the ball over the cage at the Gleaner.
Right. Because they don't come cheap.
No,
and people laugh when I tell them how much they are, but they're £100
for a fitma,
for football, for a match ball, and you need to use the same one at training as you do for matches. So I got a supply of 65 at the beginning of the season, and I had the opportunity to buy more at Christmas.
Right.
But I don't think I'll need to do that. Having just said that, I bet you start kicking the ball over the wall Thursday night now, Gordon, to get you back.
Probably.
And how much is the fine for doing that?
I'm not sure. I don't know that there's lists of stuff.
Is there a lot of fines? I suppose it's a bit of fun as well. Do the players run that themselves?
Yes, the players run. There's a commander in chief, as I would call him, and his deputy. I'll not tell you who they are. They know.
I think I can guess who one of them is, but I'll almost say. But
Aye.
Redhead, no?
Could be.
Number 7.
Could be. That's me getting a fine now when we go back on Thursday. Oh no, there's no training tomorrow, so we're alright.
Aye, great stuff. Right, well, we're nearly coming to the end of this, but I mean, in terms of this season, I mean, do you feel the ambitions, and what can the club look forward to? Playoffs, I mean, I suppose that's what everybody's aiming for. But at the moment, Elgin's right up there, and they're at the top of the table, well, close to it, and just challenging, look as good as any team in the league at the moment. Yeah.
I would say, talking about the feeling around the town and all that, about how the team's doing. Personally, I would hope playoffs.
Yeah.
I think playoffs definitely this season.
Having seen most of the teams, I would say that certainly look as good as any of them. So I'd be disappointed at this stage that if we didn't make the playoffs, but it's certainly a good chance of it.
Yeah. And the longer they can keep this unbeaten run going, the more confidence, the more momentum that builds, and it just breeds confidence, doesn't it?
Yes. Because, I think this time last season we were going through a really, really tough time, losing a lot of goals and all that, and I think that was probably something about confidence. Whereas now, the results that we've strung together. Spoke about Bonnyrigg at the weekend. Being 1-0 down and then pulling back 2 goals in the last 7-8 minutes, and last night as well. So I would say 4th or higher.
4th or higher, brilliant, great stuff. Right, we don't want to end on a serious note, so we're going to go back to biscuits. What's your personal favourite biscuit?
Mine?
Yes.
Well, ones I just got the other week, never got before. They're like a shortbread finger, but it's got chocolate chip cookies in it, and it's got chocolate covered over the top.
Jangs.
Yeah, and that's from the local shop on a high street that sells shortbread products.
That's good.
Without saying names.
And yourself, Gordon?
Well, my favourite, I don't buy them very often, but it's when you get ginger biscuits covered in dark chocolate. You only tend to get them at Christmas time, but they are awesome.
Oh no, it's mint with chocolate. I'll try and get the
So nice.
other ones.
You can buy them if you go through a Brody or somewhere similar. They're so nice.
And does the biscuit tin go on the road as well? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
is there going to be Viscounts in it for Saturday's trip to Clyde?
I would better say yes, because if I don't, I can't miss it twice in a week. I'll get into trouble.
I'm partial to wagon wheel, but I haven't had one for a long time. Do they still do wagon wheels?
Yeah. Raspberry ones, and there's an archetype as well, I think. But it's been a while since I've got wagon wheels. But next time, if you're Brother Briggs next week for training,
wagon wheels.
I'll make sure to get something for you.
When you mentioned wagon wheels, it brings back a sad memory for me, because when I was a child, there was an advert on the TV that said that this was a biscuit that was too big to put in your mouth at one go, so I decided to take on the challenge and I almost choked to death, but I did manage to get the whole wagon wheel out my mouth.
That could be a boot room challenge. Can you stuff a wagon wheel in your mouth in one fell swoop?
Yeah. That's going to cost a fortune.
We might have to get public liability insurance to do something like that.
Trios used to be a favourite. I was trying to remember the name of it.
Trios.
Do you remember Trios? No. It was like a
I don't remember that.
I think it was a song, but I'm not
Great
sure.
stuff.
I'm not
Do we know if the chairman has a favourite biscuit? Does he have a...
Actually, no. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if Alan does. I'm sure if he hears this, he might stop me in the corridor and just say, no idea.
Great stuff. Right. That's been brilliant. We've talked biscuits and we've talked football and we've talked kitman, we've talked pastors and flip-flops. So thanks very much, guys, for coming on. This has been G-Force, the special G-Force episode with Big G and, well, I want to call you Wee G, because we've already gone there, but...
Even though he's from Dundee.
Of course, I can't call you a Wee G from Dundee, but... brilliant. Thanks, guys. This has been great fun, and you've been listening to the Borough Briggs Beat, and tune in next time.